Hi, everyone. Let's talk about this TNA that happened this past week, December 18th, 2025. This show was great. That main event, Steel Cage, we're going to talk about. It was, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Sorry, being funny. But, anyways, like, let's talk about it. So, we kick things off with a 20-man battle right to since the number one contender to the TNA World Champion, Frankie Kazarian, on the first Impact of 2026. Speaking of Frankie Kazarian, he joins Tom and Matthew on commentary, and BTE eliminates John Skyler. Then Ryan Nemeth delivers a thumb to the eye of hometown man Joey Diener before tossing him over the top. And then Ryan Reed hits Flame on the. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. Ryan Reed hits Flame on the eliminate Judas Arcardis. I'll say it again, guys. Ryan Ryan Myron Reed hits Flame on to eliminate Judas Arcardis, and then as the Rascals catch Reed in mid-air to prevent his feet from touching the floor. I'll say again, touching the floor. Then AJ Francis appears at ringside to eliminate Rick Swan before hitting him with a down payment on the apron. Then Moose and Cedric Alexander argue with each other, allowing Eric Young to clothesline them both over the top rope for a double elimination. And then a final three are Eric Young and Bear Branson and Ryan Nemeth. And Bear Branson tosses Ryan over the top. We're down to two. And Ryan, I'll say again, and then I'll say it again, guys. Bear Branson, I'll say it again. Bear Branson counters a power driver to last eliminate Eric Young and winning the Battle Royal. And your winner is Bear Branson winning the 20-man TNA World Man's number one contender Battle Royal. Then with this victory, the TNA's newcomer Bear Branson has earned a TNA championship match against Frankie Kazarian. Then Team TNA fails to test the TNA Outlaw from TNA's Wrestling when they meet inside of a steel cage. Then the TNA injury report, Matt Cardona is out with a shoulder injury following an attack from the TNA Outlaws. Then Dana Luna and Indy Hartwell are out with a conference following their dog collar match. Then Rick Swan is day-to-day with an upper back injury, and then following a down payment on the apron from AJ Francis. Then Matt Cardona, I'll say again, I said Matt Cardona, didn't I? Okay, guys, I'm good again. So Matt Santana, I'll say again. Mike Santana, and the Hardys were graced the cover of the February 2026 edition of Pro Wrestling Edition, and go to pwonline.com for more information. I'll repeat it again, guys. Mike Santana and the Hardys will grace the cover of the February 2026 edition of Pro Wrestling uh, I'll say again, Pro Wrestling and registration, and go to pwonline.com for more information about, the magazine with Mike Santana and the Hardys for the February 2026 edition of Pro Wrestling, for the PWI. I'll just say that, guys. So Mike Santana and the Hardys will grace the cover of the February 2026 edition of PWI. Then Bear Brenson is feeling flatter- flattering flattering after becoming the number one contender for the TNA World Championship in just his second match in TNA Wrestling. Then then we had the Angel Warriors, Sarah Brookside and Li Yang Lee fences Tessa Blanchard and Leah Moore with, Robert Stone and Victoria Crawford. Let's talk about it, guys. So the TNA Knockouts World Champion Li Yang Lee teams up with her friend Sarah Brookside to battle Tessa Blanchard and Mela Bourne in a tag team action. And both Angel Warriors fly off the top to take out their advantage with crossbodies to the floor, and Robert Stone are sent a distraction from the outside, allowing Tessa to take control with a dropkick to Lee. Then Moore cuts off the ring and wears down Lee into the corner, and Lee's about to tag in Brookside, but Stone pulls her off the apron, and moments later, Lee successfully tags Brookside as the tide begins to turn, and Lee hits more with the Warrior Way to score the victory, and that's how they won. I'll repeat it again, guys. So Yangling Lee hits Myla Moore with the Warrior Way for the win, and that's how they won, and that's how Li Yang Lee and Saya Brookside won with the Warrior Way for the win from Yang Yang Lee picking up the win for the victory and hitting Bourne with the. I'll say it again, guys. Lee hits more with the Warrior Way for the win, and that's how she won with the Warrior Way for her team, and her and Saya Brookside defeated, Tessa Blanchard and Mala Bourne, the Diamond Collective, and Angel Warriors won. And then the the reigns there. I'll say it again. The mains. Dana Luna has her side on the Knockouts World Champion Li Yang Lee. So we're going to see that in the future, guys. We're going to see something in the future with Dana Luna and Yi Yang Lee, Saya Lee, known as Saya Lee. And then Tessa Blanchard and Mala Moore and Victoria Crawford failed to cinch themselves by issuing an open challenge to any three knockouts in the locker room. And Li Yang Lee accepts Dana Luna's challenge, and we're going to see that with Dana Luna and Li Yang Lee. That's going to be a banger. That's going to be a banger. That's going to be a banger. I don't care what anybody says. That's going to be a banger. DNA. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Then Elijah. I was thinking Elijah performs in a ring concert as he addresses his current issue with Mustafa Ali, and he doesn't take long before Order 4 interrupts to deliver their own statement, and Mustafa Ali recalls by dragging away by Elijah on a horseback just 2 weeks ago at Final Resolution, and Elijah wants to fight, but he's jumped by the great hands. I'll say it again, but he is jumped by the great hands. He's jumped by the great hands who were discussed at stage hand, and Elijah withstand in the assault, but is taken out with a Qatar shot from Mustafa Ali. And that's what happened right there, guys. Then, despite coming up short against Dana Luna last week, Indy Hartwell will not stop till she becomes Knockout Women's World Champion. I'll say it again. She wouldn't stop till she becomes Knockouts World Champion. Then Moose makes his since known to since his rematch clause for the TNA. I'll say it again. Moose makes his since known to enact his rematch clause for the TNA X Division Championship, but Cedric Alexander, who recently won the six-man Grumble to become the number one contender, takes ascension. And that's what happened right there. Then Frankie Kazarian is confident ahead of his upcoming TNA World title defense against Bear Branson on the first Impact of 2026. Then we had this main event with the steel cage. Oh man, this was great. Oh, this was great. This was great. I'm telling you guys, it was good stuff. It's good stuff, man. Let's talk about it, guys. So it's main event time as the heat rivalry between TNA and NXT reached in Belling Point in a 5-on-5 steel cage match, and two competitors start the match with one competitor from a Sicily team entering after set time or since, and Team NXT will have the number advantage. Once all competitors have entered the cage, the first pinfall or submission will decide the outcome. And that's what happens, guys. And then Mike Santana and Brooke Jensen kick things off, and Team NXT gains its first advantage with the entry of Lexus King. Well, Mike Santana enjoys a momentarily advantage, and he's quickly falls victim to the number game after King clobbers him with his cane, and then Steve Macklin evens the odds for Team TNA, and Tyson is out next for Team NXT, and Matt Hardy is on his way to the ring when he blindsides by Tyree, and then Jeff Hardy joins the fry from Team TNA, and Stax is next entry for the Team NXT. Then the Righteous carry Matt Hardy out of the Impact Zone. Then the Director of Authority, Santino Marella, is the final entrance for the Team TNA, and the match can now end in pinfall or submission. However, with Matt Hardy out of the iteration, Team TNA is at a dis I'll say it again, a disadvantage, and Macklin has Stacks caught in the crosschair up against the steel, and everyone comes crashing down following a Tower of Doom off the top of the cage, which was crazy, which was freaking crazy, I'm telling you. Boom, 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 bang, 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 bang. Freaking, I'm telling you guys. And then Santino Marella hits Bros. I'll say it again. Mike's, I'll say it again, guys. I'll repeat it again. I repeat it again. Everyone comes crashing down following a Tower of Doom off the top of the cage, which was amazing, like I said again. Then Santino Marella hits Brooke Jensen with the Cobra, followed by the spin the block from Mike Santana for the win. And Mike Santana picks up the win for Team TNA and picks it up for him and Jeff Hardy and Steve Macklin and Santino Marella defeating Team NXT, Brooke Jensen and Stacks and Tice with I'll say it again, guys. With Mike Santana picking up the win with Spin the Block and with Jeff Hardy and Steve Macklin and Santino Marella defeating Team NXT with Brooke Jensen and Stacks and Tyson and Tyree and Lexus King. And that's what happened right there, guys. And I give this show a freaking 9.5 out of 10 because of that main event. That main event was so good. That steel cage, you go back and watch that steel cage again with Team TNA and Team NXT. It was good. I gave this show a 9.5, and I don't care what anybody says, but that's just my opinion. But man, I'm telling you, it was so good. It was so good, that steel cage match. But anyways, guys, that's all I have to say. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always, guys. And this is CJD 2006. I'll say it again. This is Christopher Jackson Denver 2006. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always. And peace out and take care and much love. Peace out and take care and much love.